Right, so here we are for the third race of PSGL. If you're wondering where the second race is, don't, because I don't want to upload it, because it was a terrible, terrible race from me. I was awful off the pace. Hopefully we can change that here in Austria, but as you can see, down in P16 and doing a very, very shit start to the lap, yeah, I'm not really changing much from Baku. Again, maybe I will show it in the future, but right now I'm more just focused on looking towards the season ahead. But you can see massive back end loss and just time loss, just leaking, bleeding time everywhere, all over this goddamn lap. You can just see just everywhere we turn in, just a little bit. I've actually gained a little bit through there, mind you, but yeah, overall this has been a very bad lap. And look at that, just taking too much curb, losing so much time. Final corner's a bit better, I recover it, but 1 minute 4, didn't even get into the threes. And you can see now on my final lap, bit better into this hairpin there, and I'm just, you know, breaking even with my previous delta. And we know that I made a lot of mistakes in this portion of the lap, so maybe, well, yeah, that's over. So basically at this point I decided to just back off and go again. Yeah, a double push lap with no battery, but you can see here I'm up on my delta, but with no battery, yeah, can't really make anything of it. Do a similar mistake into that corner, and that was it for qualifying. My teammates up in third, really flying the flag for McLaren. I am putting us to shame in P18. Look at that, I'm behind the start line. Can you see that? Wow. Anyway, 5 red lights. Here we go, round 3, put it all behind us, see what I can do in the race, and it's the lights out, and away we go here for the Austrian Grand Prix, and it's well, it's pretty much a nothing start here. Coming into turn number 1, Aston Martin getting pretty punchy, and I was just trying to take it easy because my race in Baku was a little bit scrappy, and yeah, that was kind of weighing on my mind a little bit. And so for this race, I really just wanted to get a clean race basically, and then not cause any issues. But you can see I've been overtaken. I'm now in last place. Maybe I'm a bit too cautious here, and that's what's costing me time, because now, you know, I've got 18 cars in front of me, and it's not really like I can capitalize on first lap drama, or can I? First lap is not over yet, but normally things seem to calm down by the midpoint. But I'm trying to go around the outside of this Mercedes, and yeah, it's not really going to work. I'm going to try and hang it a second attempt around the outside, but I'm kind of blocked by the Sauber there. But I still actually managed to get the position. So, you know, that's good. I've made up 2 positions, and now maybe I get the Sauber into this corner. Looks like get the job done into the final corner. So, made up 1 position off my starting place after losing 2. So that's 3 overtakes in total in the first lap. But it's put us in a bit of a better position, I guess. I'd rather be in 17th than last, but again, it's not that much better. So you really need to just lock in here and see what I can make happen in this race. I mean, unfortunately, and that's a crash there, and I've gone wide, and that is going to actually, yeah, I've actually lost places, or maintained at least from all of that. So I really could have done without that. It's kind of broke up the field a little bit too. But you can see getting a little tap up the rear there. The Ferrari and the Aston are going side by side. I'm going to try and just hang it in here, but I just don't want to lose my front wing. I don't want to crash on lap 2 here. There's too much of the race to go. The race is not won within the first 5 laps. So yeah, we need to just be a bit more focused, a bit more calm. And you can see I'm just going to overtake this Aston Martin now. Don't know if that's the most smart idea, because I've now just given him DRS. But you know what, sometimes you've got drivers behind you, they're very tightly packed. I don't want to start playing DRS chicken with a car in front, because it just brings others into the battle, and I just don't want that, because then you just lose more time. But you can see already, look at that, the leaders are already in turn 3. They got this whole straight on me already. So yeah, this is the pain. This is the repercussions of qualifying badly. This is what happens, unfortunately. You can see, yeah, the Aston gets in front of me and loses the back end a little bit. Very late on the brakes he was there. I'm surprised he made the corner. Well, he barely did, but obviously had to slide it on in there, and that cost me a bit of momentum. And now yeah, I've just lost 2 places there in the space of a corner and a straight. So that was very frustrating for sure, because I really wanted to just be getting away. I don't want to be in battles. Every single race so far in this... Oh, here we go. Looks like we're going to get an overtake. But every single race so far, I've just been in traffic. I've just been battling away. And again, that comes from poor qualifying. But then even in Spain, you know, I qualified up in 6th and was still just kind of being held up at the opening stint of the race. I just need to do a better job in qualifying and be a bit more punchy off the start and just not get into these battles, because we're all battling each other, right? None of us are really showing our true pace because we're all too busy battling each other. I did not want to lose another position, so I tried to hang it around the outside of the Mercedes, but no battery. The Mercedes gets back past, and now I'm down to P19. I'm going to try and hang it down the inside, and looks like I've done that successfully. So yeah, we're not in second to last just yet. You know, because the last race in Baku, I finished second to last after having a crash. But yeah, I do not want to repeat that. And so I want to stay out of trouble, and I want to see points. You know, it's looking already, even in these early stages, you know, we've lost so much like of a competitive advantage to our rivals. Like they have a huge advantage of us just in terms of track position right now. And we're just losing time. But yeah, missing the apex of the first corner, well, it's not as bad as what that Aston is doing. And wow, I mean, that was the longest build up to a crash ever. But we gain a position from that. We're up into P17, and now I've got the Sauber in front of me, who I saw a little bit on lap 1. So he'll be the next guy to try to overtake, but I also need to keep the Mercedes behind me. So yeah, it's been a pretty hectic first 5 laps as we now cut on to lap 8. And again, I go for an overtake, but it's not the smartest move because he's probably saving his battery, and now he's probably going to mince me back down this straight. You can see if I can get a better exit than him, and I really don't. I don't really get much of a better exit, and now he's probably just going to go back around the outside. Can I hang it on the inside? No is the answer. I'll try, but nah, he's got the outside line, the karting line. He's just going to dance around the outside, which he does. And yeah, I am in P11. I believe, yeah, some of the leaders I think are pitting very early. I was surprised by how early they were pitting. The engineer was telling me that tyre wear was worse than expected, which, I mean, kind of used to that now in the Formula 1 games. But yeah, for me, I was going to stay out because, I mean, there's no point pitting now. Because the tyres don't feel that bad for me, and I might as well just try something different. If I do the exact same thing as the front runners and what these guys are doing, yeah, we're just going to mirror each other, and nothing. They're just going to keep their track position and advantage, and I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. So yeah, staying out long, coming back on fresher tyres, once again making the same mistake, overtaking the Sauber before turn 3, and I do a bit of a Verstappen, or I guess a Rosberg. I'd say a Verstappen there. Doing a Rosberg would be literally not turning at all. But yeah, it was more of a lock-up that caused me to wash wide there and not a deliberate action there. And so now on to lap 10. Now that I've cleared the Sauber, you can see I'm actually able to use my pace a little bit, and I have actually pulled away. Now my teammate, who pits at the end of lap 8, I believe, is now catching up to me in P6, and he's in the battle for the win. So for me, I don't want to hold up my own teammate. So you can see here, put it down to no battery, lift off, let him go through, because yeah, I don't want to hold up my own teammate. You know, there is a Constructors' Championship too, and I mean, it'd be good if we could finish high up in that. He's definitely flying the flag for us so far. He's beaten me in every single race except for Baku, but I believe in Baku he was taken out, and he was destroying me in that race before that anyway. So yeah, he's basically, my teammate has out-qualified and out-raced me in every race this year. So yeah, really need to step it up a bit if I want to mount a challenge near the front. But you can see I'm coming into the pits now. My tyres are starting to go off, and I was actually able to hold up the guy my teammate was racing with, as he actually sets the fastest lap there. So that was a good bit of teamwork there. It actually worked out quite nice, that. Hopefully he can have a good rest of the race. Hopefully I'll have been some help to him. But if he can get on the podium, then that'd be very nice. But anyway, this middle stint here was probably, I think it was an important stint, because I really had to just make up a lot of lost time from battling and obviously staying out longer and things like that. So yeah, this middle stint was all about just closing down the gaps to the guys in front, and then hopefully in the final stint is when we can get some more battles. So that was my target, was to close these guys down, which you can see I am doing. I'm taking a decent chunk, about half a second to a second a lap, roughly is how much I'm taking out of these guys. So yeah, it's been a productive middle stint, about a second a lap I would say to those guys ahead. So yeah, catching up to the Haas now, all just getting closer and closer and closer, and you can see now I'm in the dirty air, starting to struggle a little bit. You can see now launch get into these final two corners here. I really want to be as close as I can going on to the main straight, and that was a good exit. Got a load of battery. He puts his into none. I'm guessing to preserve, or he's clipping. I'm pretty sure he's probably preserving. But yeah, I've got him, and I'm now up into P14, and I've got a good enough exit out of turn 1 to survive any counter attack from him. So yeah, lap 19. This has been a productive middle stint now. I'm back in the game here, back onto this train, and I've lost the back end into the final corner, and that has literally just reversed all of the hard work I've done in this stint. Lost about 3-4 seconds from that, and just so frustrating, because it's like the amount of time I lost from that, it's going to be costly. But you can see now the leaders are pit once more, and so this is just the same old, just having to let these guys overtake me. I'm not in their fight really, so yeah, I'm not exactly going to put up a huge resistance to these guys. You can see now just trying not to lock up there and run into the back of P6 ahead of me. Obviously having the DRS, yeah, I was running with a lot more speed into that corner, so nearly lost it there. But you can see I'm letting them all through. That's the championship leader there. She's battling away with the Ferrari. That Ferrari, I'm pretty sure me and him were fighting in the first race in Spain. God, how things have changed. I really need to get back up there, but hopefully I can in the upcoming races. We have a week break now, so it's not going to be for 2 weeks now until the next episode. So yeah, get a bit of a break, which I kind of need, because yeah, I just need to refocus and stop having races like these. But you can see I am in last place now, which is obviously not good, you know, being in last place and what is that, over half a lap behind the leaders. They're in sector 3, I'm just finishing sector 1, so yeah, very, very poor performance from me so far. You know, the pace hasn't been too bad, but it's more just the lack of aggression, poor qualifying, yeah, making silly mistakes. But you can see now I'm on the medium tyres. I was confident I could get these to the end, because in the first stint I was able to take them 10 laps, and obviously as the race goes on you have a lighter car. Speaking of lighter, I forgot to take out the 2.5 laps of fuel, so I was running 2.5 laps extra fuel for this whole damn race. But yeah, a lot of silly little errors, just things I need to iron out. But you can see here I'm on an absolute scorcher of a lap here. Might actually be the fastest lap of the race. Fancy that, my first PSGL fastest lap. If I can't get points, I'll get fastest lap tax, and look at that. 1 minute 5.3. That is 1.3 seconds off my qualifying time. I really need to improve my qualifying, genuinely, because it's costing me so much. And look at that, a huge crash ahead, just as I rejoin this train and thinking we're in for a bit of a dice to the end of the race with 7 laps to go. And there is a safety car here. A safety car in Austria. I bolt on a fresh set of softs, well, used set, just 1 lap in qualifying. I was thinking of staying out, but yeah, as a Hamilton fan, staying out on dead rubber with the last few laps of a race before a safety car restart, yeah, I ain't doing that. But you can see now, prepared to resume racing. I believe a Ferrari lost it. I forgot to point that out. I'm not sure how that happened, but you can see, look at this, man. This is like Mugello 2020 here, where half the field thinks we're going. I kept my distance, luckily, but you can see I've got an illegal overtake on Marcel, so I have to let him go through, which is annoying because I've lost all the track position, but then everyone's slowing up anyway, so it looks like I've actually accidentally timed this to perfection, and I've got a lot of overspeed here into turn number 1. I'm going to go for it down the inside. this is it now, because we've got a good opportunity on our hands. We have to get aggressive. That was my mentality in this final stint. Everyone's going to be aggressive. You have to match the energy of those around you, otherwise you're just going to get swamped, absolutely gobbled up. So coming into this corner, anyway, back into it. We've lost 2 positions from that. That's kind of undone a bit of our work, but coming into this corner here, I'm going to try and do a little switchback because I had a feeling these guys were going to go side by side. And look at this now, getting squeezed, but I'm going to keep my foot in because I've got nothing to lose at this point. I'm going to hang it round the outside, use the karting line and swoop round the outside of that. Is a double pass there up into P14, and you can see now the Mercedes in front of me, a bit of a poor exit out of that corner. These guys in the dirty air, looks like they're just heating up their tyres a little bit, and looks like I might be in attacking range, and he's made a mistake there. I go down the inside and up into P13. So that's been a very, very productive restart. That's 3 overtakes done there. So now I need to set about, and look at that, it's the Sauber who I've been battling this entire race. It's like me and them that we're absolutely inseparable on this racetrack today, clearly. 3 laps to go. I'm in P13, and with all the penalties that everyone's got, I'm thinking at this point, if I just play my cards right here, I might just get into the points after penalties. And could you imagine that after all this, you know, coming out of the pits on my final stint, I was in last place. I've spun off. I've had so many battles, so many unnecessary battles, losing so much time. Such a frustrating yet exciting race, really. But now looks like we might even get something for our troubles here. We might actually get points. So I need to absolutely focus here and just see what I can do. First of all, I need to dispatch of the Sauber in front of me, and then at that, I mean, he's got 16 seconds worth of penalties anyway, but I was just in such an attacking mood. It's like, no, I just want to overtake, I just want to attack, because look, we're all bunched up. You don't know what's going to happen here, so you just have to stay in the game. You have to keep in that fighting mentality. You can't get complacent, you can't start to back off. So you can see now, coming out of turn 1, and looks like I've got a decent run here, using up my battery, but so is he. And with DRS, I'm not going to be able to do anything, but I said to myself, I'm going for it. I'm going for the pass into turn number 3. You can see he locks up there trying to avoid DRX there in front of us, and I managed to get him. I lose the back end out of turn 3 though, which scrubbed off my momentum a little bit there. But you can now see he's going to try and go around the outside just like he did earlier in the race, but again, I'm getting more punchy. I'm outbraking him, and yeah, looks like he didn't have enough grip there to hang it around the outside this time around. So we are now up into P12, and there's only one guy in front of us that I know of that has a penalty. Now, you never know, other people might have a penalty in front of them, but I don't know that for certain. He loses the back end though, so now I've got him, and look at that. Number 9, P9, the Alpine, has a penalty. It's a 3-second penalty. So all I have to do is stay within 3 seconds, but I'm losing the back end there. The tyres are just overheating at this point. We're all pushing way too hard here, and the tyres are just starting to drop off, and they're overheating. The soft tyres are absolute, they just melt, man. They're a really poor race tyre. Might have been better off going for a medium or a hard, but I didn't have any of those left, so this is kind of what I was stuck with. But you can see now, he drives onto the grass there, the gravel. I don't know if he was trying to get DRS, but then he dive bombs down the inside there, giving me DRS. Bit confused as to what his tactics were there. I'm also confused. He's got 12 seconds worth of penalties, so yeah, he's not exactly going to get points here. And it makes no sense me really fighting him, but at the same time, if I lose too much time, then the Alpine in front, you can see P10's already 2.3 seconds ahead. I'm willing to bet the Alpine might be close to bridging that 3 seconds, and I've managed to get the Williams, and I'm up into P11 now. So now I'm just going to have to push. I just have to push flat out to the line and hope that maybe, just maybe, I might just sneak into the top 10. The race is won by the Williams driver. I believe that was the pole sitter too. Coming up to the line, absolutely nothing left on these tyres. And look at that, we are going to get a point. One singular point, I think. I'm pretty sure P10 gets you a point because the point system's a bit different in PSGL. But we got a point, and breathe. Nah, please don't take my fastest lap. Please don't do that. I didn't. Okay. We keep the fastest lap too, so we get fastest lap tax. And I stupidly pressed too quickly. I'm pretty sure I got fastest lap and driver of the day too. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. and I'll see you guys later.